For this specific client, we've booked over 230 plus demos within the time span of 10 months. And within the calls that we've booked for them, we've booked companies like Deloitte, the German military, Bain & Company, IBM, and many more companies like these. And this was all from cold outreach. And we basically turned all the cold email responses that we got into booked sales calls. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how we did that, right? And there are 4 main pillars to proper lead nurture, which are super important. And we're going to cover them one by one, starting off with the first one, which is being fast. So being fast means, someone responds to the original cold outreach and you immediately respond back. That's what I mean with being fast, right? And this is like for the first response and then for every single response after that. So first response, immediately within 5 minutes you reach back out to them. Then after having reached back out to them, let's say they respond again. Within 5 minutes, you'll be there again. Every single time they interact with you, it should be super instant. It's almost like writing ChatGPT right now. It seems like it's already reading your keyboard strokes. Like you type something in, you click enter, you immediately get the response, right? It has to be that fast. Like it has to be crazy fast. So this is super important. Now, how do you get there? Like what did we do to be fast all of the time? And by the way, we're tracking these numbers. And by the way, arguably tracking might be one of the things that we like that anyone would need to do this. So we have lead notifications, obviously. So whenever a lead comes in, we get notified on mobile and on desktop. And now the important thing about that is, let me actually review all of these things. You need to have dedicated SDRs which get the lead notifications on both their mobile devices as well as their desktops, right? And then you need to give them or you need to remove all friction possible that would be between them responding and them getting a response, basically. So they get a response, right? They get a response and there's basically zero friction to actually respond back. You need to make that happen somehow, some way. This is what we did, right? And we literally built our own internal app for this because we're doing this for clients where they basically pay us per call that we book, right? This is like our offer. We run cold emails and then we basically get email responses. We call them up as fast as possible and we need to like call them fast because we want to book those meetings because that's how we get paid. We get paid per call, right? Now, in that scenario, it was like super important for us to book as many meetings as possible. And there's like one Harvard study where which like showed that if you reach back out to leads within the matter of 5 minutes, you get 391% more deals closed, basically, or sales calls booked, as opposed to responding after an hour or something like that. So, or a day, I don't know which of the two it was. Either way, it's super important, like impressive. So just based on that, we wanted to take away all the friction, which then meant, all right, we need to have like our own app with our own lead notifications, and it needs to be easy for them to respond, meaning they can respond from their desktop immediately. Notification pops up on their Mac on the top right corner, right? It pops up, they click on it, they immediately land on the thing. Let me actually show you. Okay, I'll show you the demo mode in the school community real quick. So we have a school community and like people get access to this stuff. And this is basically how it looks, right? So you have this creator mode. We have this creator mode, so we can actually show you this. So you get your daily tasks in here, and whenever that specific notification pops up, you can immediately jump into the conversation where you can leave notes, you can log calls, etc. And you see the entire chat history with them via any type of like conversation, right? Be it like email or you have like text messages, you can log everything basically. So that allows you to see everything at a glance immediately, which then removes all the friction, right? Like we want to remove all the friction. And that's going to allow us to be fast. And then after we're fast, the next important point is not only does it have to be fast, because if it's fast, but it's like completely templatized, people will know or assume that this is automated. And people don't like automated stuff. So at least they don't like automated looking stuff, right? So that's why it needs to be personalized. So we need to be fast and we need to personalize stuff, which then begs the question, okay, how are you going to personalize this? Again, you're going to remove the friction that would be there if they had to personalize it just by using the system that I've shown you. So what does the system need to do as well on top of what it's already doing? It needs to have the sidebar where you can see the company that we're emailing to, their email address, their LinkedIn, their website, right? And then some general SDR notes and some assets, plus the chat history. Why is that important? Whenever an SDR goes into this like overview and they scroll through the chat history and they see like, okay, well, they've been talking about this specific offer because we're sending out like multiple scripts and multiple offers at the same time. So they quickly need to get they need to get up to speed basically as quickly as possible so that they can respond quickly, right? And they look at the chat history and then as soon as they have some sort of idea what they want to respond, like how they want to respond, they can go onto their website, they can go onto their LinkedIn and then connect our offer to what would be beneficial for them specifically, right? That is super important because like you need context. Every single time you want to write a proper email, you want to make it relevant, right? You want to make it personalized to them specifically. And that, by the way, personalization doesn't really mean that you like talk about what school they went to and that you find that interesting. That's not personalization, that's asinine. Like that doesn't make any sense. What we decided to do is basically we want to pick out relevant sales assets as well that we have access to for our clients. For example, they upload all of their sales assets, right? We want to give them the right sales assets. So our client might have like 3 ICPs, and for all the 3 ICPs, ideal customer profiles, right? We have different sales assets. So that might be a case study, that might be some PDF, some white paper, right? We want to take the relevant white paper and send it over to that client, like that lead, and say, hey man, I think like this white paper would be super important because you are doing this specific thing that the white paper talks about. And that like perfectly ties to the offer that we wanted to make for you specifically, right? This is why it's super important to have like easy access to these things. Super, super, super important. Yes. So that's about personalization. And now, as soon as you have done that, you need to do this as frequently as possible. So we go to frequency, right? You need to be frequent, meaning you have a sequence that you can follow. Or even better, and this is a system that we worked on to like help ourselves, help our clients get all the follow-ups done, because we need to do this like for like multiple clients at the same time, at scale, with like thousands of emails being sent and like hundreds and thousands of responses being gathered in our master inbox. We just let AI do the follow-up, and they follow up via the sequence. So they have a very specific cadence that they need to follow, which is not spammy. And the AI is focusing on personalizing all of this while being fast, right? How does it do that without AI, like without pushing out AI stuff? And that's like the main challenge. And that's what we figured out, which is quite cool. Because we have this internal system for the AI. They call it second brain. It's like a bunch of text files that give the AI context as for every single client, right? So it knows about all the sales assets our clients have, what kind of ICPs we're targeting for our clients, what kind of offers we're pushing. And then on top of that, it sees the entire chat history of the lead, like the chat history that we had with the lead up until that point where the AI now needs to follow up. And it knows all the website contents of that specific lead, as well as the LinkedIn profile, the most recent posts that they've posted on LinkedIn. And then with the SOP that we give that specific AI, it's a skill file, right? It knows exactly how to respond because we've built a skill based on the best performing follow-ups that we've made as humans. And it takes those as reference files, and it made an SOP out of those specific follow-ups. And then it checks itself, like whether it's following all of these different things, and then only gives out the most relevant follow-ups to the prospects. And here's actually a small demo showing how that works. So these are real conversations. So based on the conversation that we had and the lead that who we're talking to, it has drafted up, like for this demo case, 5 follow-ups. We usually do way more, but I just wanted to like cover it quickly. So this is literally like for our agency right now. Hey there, I book qualified sales meetings and only charge for the ones that show up. So is that worth a quick chat? And then she says, I think that's a she. I hope so. Hey Nathan, which region do you cover? We're doing this globally so we can get your field management software to your ideal customers. We've been doing this for other software companies like ShiftMove and AirPay for over 25 months now. Happy to connect you with my CEO so he can walk you through how we could do this for you too. Do you maybe have time today? He should be available in a couple hours. Between 2 and 4 p.m. works well for him. Let me know, I'll get it set up. And then it has drafted up, based on the conversation that has already occurred, right? It has drafted up follow-ups, regardless of whether Ally, or whatever her name was, yes, responds or not. Like, this is the sequence that it will walk through, right? So the first one is going to be like after 2 days. Ally, which region matters most right now so I can map the first markets and buyer groups around it, right? Because, like, she asked which regions do we cover. Hey Ally, I had another look at Optimal Route, and this is probably our closest case study because we booked 230 plus qualified demos for another logistics software company, and it gives her our YouTube stuff because the AI knows that we have a YouTube channel and it knows all the transcripts of the YouTube channel or all the YouTube videos, right? So it knows which of the videos are going to be relevant. Yes. So I'll be able to walk you through how we do this for you. Which side is the bigger priority for Optimal Route right now? Delivery companies or field service teams? How are you currently booking demos for Optimal Route? Like open-ended questions to like get a response, because the goal of this specific AI is to get a response. Let's have a conversation. In general, like cold email is for having conversations. We will never close the deal via cold email. That will never happen, right? We want to have a conversation to then get the people on a sales call, and then that's where we close. We don't close on the cold email, right? First, we're trying to close them for a response. As soon as we have a response, we want to have a conversation. As soon as we have a conversation, we can close for the meeting. As soon as we're on the meeting, we're going to close for the sale, right? So this is super important. And then the last one, in this specific instance, again, we're sending out way more follow-ups over a long time horizon. At some point, we're following up once a month, just over and over again, so that we can we have timing on our side. And the follow-ups will always be relevant because no matter what happens during that time, let's say they get a Series A funding or they have some news that they got acquired from another company, and then there's a specific person that might be more relevant to talk to, we can then still adjust the follow-ups because the AI will know. That's cool. And it will always write in the same style that we have written because it has our follow-ups as reference materials. And then we'll just ask, are you still looking for qualified sales calls on a pay-per-show basis, etc., right? Because that's our offer. So that's one example. Another one, hey there, we book AirPay and ShiftMove more than 50 qualified meetings a month on a pay-per-meeting basis. So is this relevant for Skyflow right now? How? We basically send out ultra-relevant emails to the customer showcasing your software on a 2-minute Loom video. And then we do that thousands of times a day to thousands of people a day. Here's a case study showing how we did that for AirPay specifically. And then again, we have the 5 follow-ups drafted up. Which Skyflow product are you most focused on booking demos for right now? This video shows the one feature cold email process we would use. 1 second. Yes. We would use for Skyflow. If you'd like to see what that would look like, here's the video, right? Again, YouTube videos, etc. I could cover this for a long ass time, but this is how these follow-ups look. And then we have another one just for the lulz. Here's how we generate 60 plus leads a month for SaaS clients. Oh wait, let me actually show, because a lot of people are interested how we respond in the first one. So if you booked Shipper now, 10 sales calls for free in exchange for a case study once they show up, would you be interested? Hey, sure, what you got in mind? We would simply be running cold emails and sending people demos of your product so that we can then book them on a demo with your reps. Here's how. If that's interesting at all, happy to jump on a quick call and tell you how we do this. Just jumped off a school community call where I explained to another software business owner how to do this on school. Thank you. is it cool if you work asynchronous? I'm off for vacation. Is this 100% free? Demos and exchange, etc. And then actually we had to ignore this one because we were like busy as hell because we ran that offer. And so we basically said, hey, thanks for following. To be fair, we're booked out for this offer now. We could get you qualified sales calls, really pay us per qualified call, etc. We basically got like too busy for this specific client. It like didn't make sense. But still, we had the follow-ups drafted up to send out. And then we can again like give them specific videos for their specific situation over and over again until they at some point respond, right? And it's never spammy or anything. We have tons of time in between follow-ups. And this is how we do this stuff. And it's booking meetings like wild. As you've seen on the screenshots. Let me pull them up again. Did I close them? I might have closed them. Anyway. Wait. File. Open. Boom. Like, this stuff works, right? This stuff actually works. And by the way, I didn't even talk about one super important thing. I actually didn't mention that. Of course, after you send that email, you double dial them. We always, let me add this. I actually forgot to add this. Holy shit. So, of course, calling is a thing. And it's super important. So, whenever we call, we send them an iMessage, right? A blue text. Just literally saying, hey, it's first name. So, whatever the first name of the rep is, we say, hey, it's first name. And then we double dial that same number with the same number that we've sent the iMessage with. Because then the caller ID on iPhones will literally show maybe first name. So we'll literally look at the iMessage and the same number, and then it will say, well, maybe the caller ID is like, this might be first name, which increases pickup rates like crazy. Like, this is super nice. This is a very nice hack. But yeah. We do that, and as soon as we've done this frequently, we've done a personalized and we've always been fast with following up with these people, the last thing that we need to make sure we actually get done properly is being available. So we want to make it easy to talk to us, which is also why we're asking open-ended questions. We want to just have them like converse. We don't need to push for a meeting straight up. Like, it doesn't need to happen. That is not a must. That's also not how you get like girls on dates or something. Like, that's not how you do it. You're not that pushy for the date. Chill. It's all good. And you also don't need to marry them before you actually meet. Like, that also doesn't make any sense. So we just need to like have some level of conversation, go back and forth. And honestly, like, a very good indicator that you're going to book a meeting is if you have more than just one response exchange. And the probability that they close, and I don't have like numbers on this, but like based on personal experience, if you have like a back and forth at least a couple times, the probability that they will book a meeting and then also close on that meeting is super high. It's super high. It is super high. Let me give permission also to like our SDRs, to your SDRs, have a conversation. It's all good. It is all good. If you watch the AirPay case study, it's probably also linked in the description down below. If you watch the AirPay case study and you see how they handle their specific responses, you'll see the exact same thing. We got them like over 130 leads now in the last 60 days. And they're booking meetings at a very nice rate. It's working out. Like, you don't have to push for they don't know you. This is cold outreach. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't trust you. It's the most terrible environment possible. But if you make it work, it's super profitable because it's super cheap, because barely anyone can make this work, which is super nice. So you can have like a moat that you can keep. But that's besides the point. So we want to be available. We want to make it easy to talk to us. We want to be very human, right? Don't want to be creepy or something, or like pushy. And we want to be available for them when they want to talk to us. And we just have to accept that we have sales cycles and they take a couple months because we're selling like expensive shit. That's fine. That's super fine. Because like you have to start running cold outreach anyway. Like, you have to run it anyway. And if it's going to take 6 months to close the first deal, fine. Let's keep running it for 6 months. And then after this first cohort has passed through the 6-month sales cycle, from that point onwards, you will get deals over and over again, because from all the different cohorts, the 6 months will pass, and then you will just like, you will have this flywheel going non-stop, because you have decided to keep running cold email for 6 months without getting any results, and now you're getting all the results. And the more you do, the more you get rewarded for that. And it's like a self-reinforcing cycle, which basically doesn't stop. And it definitely will stop if you close the tab. So whenever you start cold email, man, go all in. Basically. Go all in. Like you need some time to, like, if you've never ran cold email for your business, like you need some time. You need some time to like get stuff flowing and shit. Like this stuff needs some time, right? You need to find the correct offers, the correct scripts, the correct lists, etc. You need to dial all of that in. But as soon as it's dialed in and you pass the first sales cycle and you're closing deals with crazy LTV to CAC ratios, so lifetime value to client acquisition cost ratios, where you're getting like 50 to 1, 70 to 1, 100 to 1 in return. So you basically, like, you spend $1 in cold email basically and you get 100 back. Yes, it takes time, but it's also like a very nice ratio, which is quite cool. But yeah, as soon as you make that work and you get leads, which, by the way, if you're getting leads through cold email, that's a very good sign. And if you're that kind of business and you want to scale your like campaigns and stuff, first link in the description, I'll help you. I'll help you out. Like let's scale it to the moon. Because if you're getting like leads from cold email, that's such an unnatural state of human existence. It's wild. You're basically telling me that complete strangers see your email and they want to pay money, or they're at least like, I'm considering giving you money for this right now. That is wildly unnatural. If your business in that scenario, we need to talk, because we need to do shit. Like this needs to be scaled. We need to blast volume violently, like a lot. Yes. This was like a small like drift off from the actual topic. But basically this is how we turn like cold email replies into booked sales calls. It is quite fun, because like it goes completely against like the usual advice, especially on YouTube or LinkedIn, where everyone's like, yeah, you have to, like, you get what you ask for, you need to ask for the meeting, you need to push for the meeting, push for the meeting, push for the meeting, this is outbound, this needs to be like tough, etc. No, I just don't believe in it. We're doing this, it works. I do like doing what's working, right? And I'll definitely do more of this. And this is how we do stuff. If you want to like implement the system into your business so you can actually benefit off of this as well, we'd be happy to do it for you, or we can help you do like set this up in your business as well. We have both of these offers. Feel free to book a call via the link, like first link in the description. Just jump on our website, watch the video, like qualify for the call, whatever, and then I'll see you there. Yes, let's keep it at that. See you in the next one. Take care.